What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at all of the NFL players reacting to the crazy trade of Deandre Hopkins that happened a little while ago. I'm sure most of you have heard about it by now. If you didn't, I did make a video on my second channel. I'll link that below if you want to watch that. But basically, Deandre Hopkins was traded to the Cardinals for David Johnson. Yes, you heard that right, for David Johnson. Now, they did have some draft picks involved. The Texans basically came out of it with a second-round draft pick, and then the player swap, and then they swapped fourth-round picks. So that's crazy. You're talking about one of the best players in the NFL, arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL, for a running back who has been on the decline. A guy that's been a little bit of injury prone, a guy that has not been performing as well the last 2 years. Definitely still a guy with potential, but nowhere near the value of Deandre Hopkins. So that is a crazy trade, and it's very rare that you get all of the NFL reacting at one time over how crazy something is. So I felt like this would be a good video to make, as it's funny some of the comments that these NFL players are saying. So let's start with Cameron Hayward. He said, "Man, we need to start drug testing some of these GMs and coaches. LOL. Questionable moves." I mean, that's pretty true. I mean, especially Bill O'Brien. It seems like he's kind of becoming known for questionable moves, and that's not kind of the reputation that you want to be known for, and he's definitely becoming that. Chandler Jones, however, a Cardinals player, obviously he loves this. He says best news in 2020, and for him that's probably true, because 2020 has been kind of a how can we say, it's been pretty trash. You know, we lost Kobe, we got the coronavirus going around. 2020 has been awful, but for Chandler Jones, this is a nice little nice little good moment for 2020. Chase Edmunds of the Cardinals basically saying what we all said. He said, haha, buffoons. And I mean, that's about as accurate as you can get, because that's what we all think about the Texans and Bill O'Brien right now. I mean, they're buffoons. Yeah. I don't think there's anybody who thinks this was a good trade. I mean, other than Cardinals fans, which, you know, you should feel that way. He finally went on to say in his second tweet, he said, "Yo, finally, we got a whole armed robbery." And yeah, I would agree with that. That definitely is an armed robbery. Unless, you know, something crazy happens where Deandre Hopkins just falls off the face of the earth. Yeah, they got an armed robbery. Cristian Kirk, another member of the Cardinals, a wide receiver, he says, "Number 10 plus number 11 plus number 13 equals scary sight. Welcome to the squad, bro. Let's eat." So that being him, Larry Fitzgerald, and DeAndre Hopkins, that is a pretty good trio. Cristian Kirk actually was playing really well last year. I think he eventually got hurt, but he's looking promising. Larry Fitzgerald, obviously old now, but still, you know, a guy that can produce for you. So that is a really good trio. And then we got David Johnson, the other member of this trade, probably the only person on the Texans side to be happy with this trade. He said, "Let's go, Houston. See you soon." So yeah, I mean, probably the only guy that is on Houston's side in this whole thing right now. Derwin James just says "damn" with a bunch of exclamation points. And I mean, that about sums it up. Damn, whoa, wow. I mean, that's really all you can say. And then once you take a minute to process it, you're just like, man, the Texans are really stupid. That's about all you have for DJ Reader, a member of the Texans. You're going to see in some of these reactions here, a lot of Texans players obviously not happy. He said, "Life for sure throws you curveballs, I guess." And, you know, that's kind of about as polite of a way as you can put, you know, questioning your front office there. I mean, I'm sure he wanted to say something a lot worse than that, but he tried to, you know, kind of go politically correct with it. But you can tell, obviously not happy. We got Leonard Fournette. He said, "Everybody in the NFL losing their minds, I see." And I mean, yeah, you got a couple things going on with the NFL right now, but obviously as of today, this is at the top of the list of WTF moments for sure. You got Jalen Ramsay. This one's funny. He just says, "What?" And you know what's funny about this is, when you really stop to think about it, he was in the same division with DeAndre Hopkins when he played for the Jaguars. He had to cover him 2 times a year. That's not fun. Now DeAndre Hopkins goes to his new division because he plays for the Rams. He's going to once again have to cover him 2 times a year. So for Jalen Ramsay, he finally got away from DeAndre Hopkins, and now, you know, the universe just brought him right back to him. So that's pretty funny. We got J.J. Watt, another member of the Texans, always someone that's vocal on Twitter. He said, a few days ago, he said, "These are truly wild times." Speaking, I would assume, about the coronavirus at the time. He retweeted his own tweet, and he said, "This tweet was ahead of its time." And yeah, when the face of your organization, you know, one of the best players in team history, maybe the best player in team history, honestly, because the Texans aren't that old of a franchise, you know, when he's questioning the move, Again, not a good look. Justin Reed, another member of the Texans, he just kind of kept it simple, hit us with the emoji face, like the, I don't really want to say nothing, but we all know this is bad. Again, you're not seeing any Texans player really react well to this. Kenny Stills, another Texans player, with the Russell Westbrook gif. And this is one of my favorite gifs of Russell Westbrook when he was being asked a ridiculous question by the reporters, and he's like, what? And yeah, that's basically his reaction to this trade. That's all of our reactions to this trade. We are Kenny Stills and Russell Westbrook right now because this trade makes absolutely no sense. What is going on? Continuing on, Kenyan Drake, a member of the Cardinals now, actually was playing really well in the second half of the season. He just says, oh, wow, and a bunch of shocked faces. I'm sure he's happy because for two reasons. One, David Johnson's gone, so that means Kenyan Drake should get even more, of a workload, and now he's got a new teammate to be excited for. Cardinals offense actually looking like it could be a problem because Kyler Murray was looking really good as a rookie too. As second year guy, you add Hopkins in that mix, could be some magic brewing up there. The way the offenses are in this league now, the Cardinals offense is definitely looking like one of those to watch next year. I for sure am going to be targeting Kyler Murray in my fantasy draft because he's like one of those guys that's going to go a little bit later, but he could have a really big year because of the weapons that surround him. And he's a running QB, which is also nice as well. Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl winning QB, MVP a couple of seasons ago. He just says, whoa, again, whoa, wow, oh my God. Like, that's really all you can say because it's, it's hard to process what just happened here. You got McCole Hardman, Super Bowl winning player for the Chiefs. Again, wow, with the eye emojis. Everybody's kind of got the same reaction. You don't really know what to say at first. Michael Thomas says, show me the money, Deandre Hopkins. So I guess maybe he's excited for Deandre to be in the NFC now. Maybe he's going to get a new contract. I think that could be part of why he was traded. Maybe he wanted maybe a restructure of his contract or something like that. Could be wrong, but maybe that's part of the reason. So maybe he could have some more money coming his way soon. Patrick Peterson of the Cardinals kind of has the same approach to this as Cristian Kirk. He says Kyler Murray plus Larry Fitzgerald plus DeAndre Hopkins equals problems, and it does equal problems, especially again when you add Cristian Kirk into that mix. That is a dangerous receiving core with a dangerous young QB. Roddy White, former wide receiver of the Falcons, had a bit to say. He said, so the Houston Texans sabotaging young greatness. How the hell you trade that type of production? You already got a good running back in Carlos, and the other wide receiver you got can't stay healthy for 5 games. What a shame. And this is really something to losing track of my words here, but this is a good take because the Texans did have, a decent running back group there. They're not mind-blowingly good, but as you've seen in the NFL, you can get by with, not the best running backs. They're very replaceable. You see a lot of the teams that are really successful not have the best running back in the world. They use a couple of guys and they make it work. So you already had, Carlos Hyde was having a pretty good year, and then he's right. Will Fuller's a guy that is very injury prone. He's constantly missing games. You added Kenny Stills, who was a nice addition, but you're getting rid of a guy that you really need, which is your go-to for Deshaun Watson, and you brought in a guy that, yes, David Johnson's an upgrade at the running back position, especially because of what he does in the pass game. He will be nice in the offense, but you already had, a better running back situation than your wide receiver situation for this trade to go down. So, yeah, I agree with Roddy White here. Deion Sanders, primetime, said this may be the dumbest move the Houston Texans have ever made. He was the attitude of your whole offense. Receivers like that don't come often, and that's true. I agree, because you've only got a handful of receivers even right now in the league that you feel like can literally take over and put the offense on their back and can move those chains and be the offense. You got guys like Hopkins, Michael Thomas, Julio Jones. There's really not many guys that you say, hey, this guy can literally carry the entire offense if need be. It's just a big loss for a guy that, like I said, David Johnson just hasn't been very consistent lately. Skip Bayless is obviously not an NFL player, but, why not throw in Skip Bayless? It's always nice to see what Skip says, even though most of the time Skip says nonsense. But he said, what were the Texans thinking giving away DeAndre Hopkins? One of the few times Skip Bayless actually has a good take, so I thought, why not throw it in there? We have Tyrann Mathieu here. He's commenting under the trade, the original trade tweet, and he just says, SMFH. He's shaking his head. So are we. We're all shaking our head because this is ridiculous. Tyreek Hill, one of the bigger names in the league, said, "What is going on?" with the shocked face emoji. A lot of wide receivers are reacting to this because, you know, they know how valuable their position has become in today's league, and to see one of the best at the position traded for what seems like almost nothing is just crazy. So those are all the reactions I got. There might have been a couple other guys out there, but those are the main ones I could find. What is your reaction to this trade? Let me know below. Make sure to watch some of these other videos right here, and as always, I will see you guys next time.